Dusty Futon podcast is a product of the Dusty Futon LLC and Dusty Futon Productions. Go to dustyfuton.com for more information. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Dusty Futon's Musicians Podcast. This episode is going to feature a musician we found through our campaign with Reverb Nation. These guys are the worldwide leader in helping to generate leads for independent artists to reach their goals. And I'll tell you, here at the Dusty Futon, we love that. Seriously, these guys have helped millions of artists get exposure in some sort of capacity since 2006. We've only been doing this since 2015, so we've got a lot of catching up to do. Our next guest, Lindsay White, has been through many troubling and painful experiences in her life, but she's had music and physical activities to help her get through it with only a few scars. Now, honestly, she kind of scares Tyler with her intensity, but that's partly why her music is so powerful. Now, let's go ahead and take a listen so you can find out why her music actually makes Spicy Kim cry. Yeah, get the mic comfortable so that when you're talking to her...
I will get the mic comfortable. How do you feel, microphone?
It's a good microphone.
Is it comfortable?
It's a happy microphone.
A little.
How does that feel, baby?
A little lower. How does it feel,
That's
baby?
not the spot.
You know, there's a thing you can loosen it with. No, it's on the other, the metal bar. That, yeah, you turn that left. That's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There you go.
Unless you're a plumber.
Oh, no, unless you're propane.
Is it propane is the other way?
Propane's the other way. Plumbers are just basic, so.
Okay.
And let's get Lindsay set up better.
Welcome to the Dusty Futon. We're a home improvement show. We're talking threads today.
We're so versatile. We're going to go sewing after that.
Hello. We're having all kinds of difficulties today.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you know, it's the first time jitter, you know.
It wouldn't be any fun if it wasn't a difficult task to achieve.
I know. I just feel like your guys'
so
mic
easy.
stands are going limp. Maybe they're sticking out too far or they need some Viagra. I don't know. But
The little blue pill? Heard a little something about that?
small, blue, different.
Little, yellow, new brand.
New brand. Nice.
Oh, my God. Welcome. Welcome aboard to the Dusty Futon. You're getting everything you probably expect at this point.
She's like,
We're here
"Right."
today. We got a new guest. Oh, you know what? First, let me start by saying I'm Tyler. I'm the host of this episode. And right next to me, to my right, you don't know that because you're just listening.
Spicy Kim here.
Spicy Kim, welcome.
Hello.
And we have a special guest, Lindsay White,
Yes, very special.
in studio with us today. And by studio, I mean
Hi.
but hello, welcome, Lindsay. Thank you for driving out here today.
Yeah.
You are the singer and songwriter of your own band called Lindsay White.
Correct.
I said that like so bad. I'm like, wait a minute, I set
named
that
it
up so
myself.
right. Yes. Lindsay White. Wait, you're in Lindsay White, aren't you? You're guilty.
wait.
Yeah, I am.
And you're also a recent recipient of the San Diego Music Award, I understand?
Yes.
Nice.
Bragger.
Congratulations.
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where do you sign up to get one of those? Is that like one
I
of
think
the?
you have to put out new music is sort of the submission.
I saw one on eBay
requirement.
once.
Yeah, you could also buy them online
Right.
or engrave them at a trophy store.
They're a little
Yeah.
more expensive than Grammys because those things are they're just tossing those things. They're like participation trophies at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But welcome, Lindsay. Thank you
you.
so much. What brings you out here? You start.
What brings me
No, I'm
out
just kidding.
I was like, whoa.
I'm like out to San Diego where I live.
We just break the ice. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about what you do. So you are a singer. You sing a lot of like pop folk style music.
Yeah.
And when did you start doing this?
So the sort of shortened version is I moved out to San Diego to actually coach basketball. That's sort of the career trajectory I thought I was going to go down.
Where did you move from?
I was originally from the Fresno Bakersfield area,
Oh, right on.
and then I went to school in Los Angeles to play basketball. And then I got a coaching job out here. I did assist at Mesa College.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so that was sort of the path I was on. And I did kind of music on the side throughout that, but it was never really my, career ambition. And then one season after I coached, I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Country
you know?
music just made sense, you know?
My dad was a coach, and I think a lot of it went into like wanting to do the family business or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and then I finally kind of just had this moment that was like, you don't have to be involved with basketball for the rest of your life. This doesn't have to be your life defining thing. You can do other things. So
Yeah, from what I understand, there was a seed planted in you a long time ago by your grandparents, who also kind of have a history singing.
totally, yeah, musical family, grew up in the church playing music, and that was actually the one thing I think I got out of church that I kept. You know what I mean? Like, just learning music and family, what it means to be part of a musical family and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I just kind of decided that's the way I wanted to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was it your grandparents that initially brought you in? Did you go up and like sing with them at certain events?
Oh, yeah. Like my grandma played piano at our church that we grew up in, and she would have me up there in like diapers. Like I was singing Amazing Grace when I was like 3 years old. I didn't even know what it meant,
Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
Still way better than I can do it today.
Yeah, right. Even at 3, right?
Yeah. But that's good performance practice.
For sure.
Like,
You get the stage fright right out of
exactly.
just straight
Exactly.
out. Mhm.
I should never even had to know what that was.
So you moved out San Diego from Fresno, Bakersfield era.
That was a good,
Which
probably a
now-
good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I have love for my Central Valley people.
Same.
but-
I have family there.
Okay. But now I understand where you get a lot of your folk influence. Yeah, so because I learned a lot about Bakersfield by going through Bakersfield, and I'm just like, this is not at all California than I expected.
Well, everybody thinks it's like surfboards and palm trees in California, but there's so many different parts to California.
People don't realize we are the largest agricultural
Oh, yeah.
state. Not just pretty beaches and fair, ladies and things like that. We grow stuff here. It's farm town.
We also imprison people, and that's
Yeah, that's
the
it.
town that I came from.
That's one of
Right.
the side effects of
Well,
having too many laws in this
Yeah.
state. So God bless the state of California. But anyway, so 2005, you moved out here. I'm looking at you now, and I'm just thinking you were like 4 in 2005.
Right?
No, it's the dimples. I look younger than I am. I just turned 35, actually.
Shut. What you're?
Didn't see that coming. Didn't
I look
see
like
that.
a baby. But
Yes.
We're gonna beep that out, by the way, though, for
I
people
know.
listening to keep the mystery out there.
I'm
but-
looking at 24 all day long.
I'll take
Well,
it.
so I'm sitting here like my mind is turning, going, "Wait, you coached basketball and you played in
Right.
Los Angeles on a team." Like,
How many lives have I lived?
Right.
there is a
Right.
lie somewhere in here, and I need to uncover this. Right now.
Well, she graduated when she was like 12, so from
Yeah.
high school.
No.
Doogie
Doogie House over here, yeah.
There you go.
So you moved here in 2005. Did you move here with family, or just because you came down to LA for school?
Yeah, I was
Work.
seeing somebody who ended up becoming my husband at the time, and moved down here with him. He was here already, so I moved down here to be with him, and then we ended up getting married around 2006, I think. It's weird. I don't know that. And,
No, it's not. I don't know either of mine.
Apparently
Don't
you're
worry.
still not
Burned it out of the brain.
I got 2 of them, and I can't remember either of them. So
There you have
so
it.
yeah, it was like a whole. Speaking of like living different lives, it was like a whole different life. I was sort of coming into my own, figuring out not only what I wanted to do with my life, but who I was as a person. And so a lot transpired in San Diego during that time where I finally kind of realized that I was gay and had to kind of decide what I wanted to do about that, how I wanted to share that with my family, with my husband,
Right.
and so there was like a lot of turmoil in that time period of my life for sure, as I kind of grew into myself.
Yeah, getting to know yourself and be married at such a young age too.
Yeah, I mean, I
difficult.
wouldn't recommend it for anyone really, regardless of your.
Getting married?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's such a young age. Because,
I'll second that and third
You
that.
are still trying to figure out
Yeah,
yourself.
when you're a woman,
know?
I don't think you really know yourself as a woman till at least 26,
Yeah.
27,
Yeah.
28.
Others
Well,
at
it's
25 for
interesting.
sure.
For years, it's been known that women don't even reach their sexual maturity until they're 30. So how the hell? I mean,
I heard 40.
well, I mean, yeah, you don't
Well, I don't
start
wanna
it
throw
really
down my
until
age,
you're
but it's just
yeah,
keep
she's
going.
rolling. Just but anyway, I digress.
But yeah, I mean, I went to a lot of therapy during that time, and
Oh, I bet your head must have been spinning.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I had such guilt and such shame, and
Uh-huh.
just kind of realized one of the things my therapist told me was that men kind of like are who they are. Yeah,
You can't fix broken.
Well, they're gonna change, but they're not gonna. They pretty much know who they are, what they want from a younger age. Whereas I think women, it takes a longer time for women to kind of grow into themselves.
Yeah, because think about it, in high school and stuff, you're trying to figure it out. You want to be a cool kid, or you're worried about your body conscious, and
religion plays a role, and like
huge
pleasing people and guilt. Yeah, women.
It can be a tough.
We won the lottery here.
It's a tough gig, right?
Yeah.
We're really glad that you're in a really good state now.
Thank you.
So coming back now, we're going to go back to 2005 when you moved here. And it seems like you pretty much had the music with you, and you started playing open mic nights around town.
Yeah, I played open mics, like Lestat's, all the staples, I guess you would say, in San Diego. And Catherine Beeks, I don't know if you guys know Catherine Beeks.
I love Catherine.
Yeah, she ran this Listen Local San Diego, which was kind of like a little step above an open mic. So she would give you like a 20-minute showcase at one of her nights. And so that was like where you kind of first really get more than that 2 songs at an open mic. You really get to feel like this is a show. I can tell people to come out and watch this show, So I did that for a long time, kind of just to get my feet wet and get comfortable with playing.
Right. Yeah. Catherine was great supporter of the music community
She's
in here.
amazing.
And that's why I think you might look familiar. Maybe it's from her. I've
Maybe.
seen her around.
It is a small world.
I know.
It's crazy how
Well,
many
she walked
people
in. I'm like, you look so familiar.
I mean, she's responsible for like 90% of the people I know in this town.
It's ridiculous.
Easy.
She's just amazing.
Yeah, she's a hub.
She is.
Let's get to some music.
I know. I want to hear some music.
I do. Yes. I think that's really how we're going to learn the most about Lindsay White and what she does. Let's listen to a tune. Do you have anything in particular you want to start off with?
Did I send you Surrogate?
That was actually one that I saw because I was listening to it on Reverb Nation.
Surrogate was the first single off this new record. It's a song I wrote about my sister. So a lot of this record has to do with my relationship with my mother. My mother passed last February, and so
Is this on Lights Out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so my sister was very much throughout my life sort of like a mother figure in a way that my mother couldn't be, and so this was a little tribute song to my sister.
All right, so here is Surrogate by Lindsay White.
You're the sugar coat on a bitter pill. You're the place I go when an earthquake drill. You will walk to the porch with the bat in your hand, so I don't have to look at the boogeyman. You flash all of the light underneath my bed, and the monsters have not found me yet, but they found you. They surround you, look around you. Yeah, they found you. You're the softest nest in the highest tree. You're a needed kiss and a wounded knee. You crack open a cactus with your bare hands, so I don't die of thirst in the desert land. You rip all of the targets right off my head, and the arrows have not got me yet, but they got you. Yeah, they shot you. Onslaught into you. Yeah, they got you.
Powerful lyrics. Really beautiful. Really
I know, I
touching.
keep trying to find something to talk about, and I'm just like, I just want to listen even more.
I'm kind of tearing up.
Thank you.
So now who do we have on here playing the other instruments with you?
So this is Alexander Dow. She's my producer from Studios, multi.
Wait, Studios?
Studios. He started in his studio, like in his home studio apartment, and so he's lived in a few different places since then. But yeah, he's multi-instrumentalist. He plays most of the additional instruments on my album.
He doing the piano and
Yeah,
all
he
the
did
other stuff?
everything.
Wow.
I mean, I did the rhythm guitar, but everything else is him.
She's like the Neil Giraldo to your Pat Benatar.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so talented.
Think you
Yeah, I was waiting for like the next
Wow.
chord to come.
That was really
I
powerful.
didn't want it to be over.
Thanks.
That was a beautiful song.
Thanks.
Gosh, it gave me goosebumps.
I was just about to ask you what it's about, but I feel like we touched base on it. Right at the beginning
I don't
of
think
the
you'd even
game
have to
system,
ask
so.
it before you hear it. You know.
Nice. So that this album, Lights Out, that this is on, I was looking, listening to a couple songs on there, and I also saw there's a YouTube video of you boxing.
Yeah.
What?
That
Yeah.
must have been fun to film.
Yeah, I do box on a regular basis. That's my actual gym.
What?
Yeah.
That's
You're like
badass.
She's a Jill of all
I told-
trades.
I
over
told
here.
you I
She's
had
like,
multiple
box.
lives.
Yeah.
Basketball, friggin' boxing,
Well, I
beautiful
I lettered in
voice.
8 sports. Fight crime at night.
I had to quit playing basketball because I hurt myself, and so boxing was just a great jump to make because nobody actually fights me. It's just a class, or like
I wouldn't want to fight you. You like to kick my ass.
I know, right?
Anyone can kick your ass, Tyler. Sorry.
It's nice to like have an
Good
aggressive
Outlet.
form of exercise where you're not like hurting yourself. So I could still do it at my own pace.
It's much
but
more fun
yes.
hurting other people.
It's more. It's like everybody's like, you should do swimming because it's like non-invasive on your body, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I need to hit something.
A little more aggression
Yeah.
needs to get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Dig it.
Yeah, exactly. So boxing, something I know nothing about. So, Lindsay, where are you playing around these days? You got any upcoming shows?
I'm about to leave on tour, so
Oh, you're leaving us?
Oh,
yeah, I'm leaving.
well, lucky for where you're going.
That's good for our national listeners, though. I mean,
Yeah, every year I go once or twice, generally like on a month long or like West Coast or U.S. tour. So this time it'll be U.S. tour. And I play around town, though. I play like Java Joe's and
Nice.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to the concert reports, she's pretty much, once we got her on our radar, you're
Every week,
performing
right?
like 2 or 3 times a week usually.
Yeah.
Either private parties
Yeah.
or just local places that you can find her
Yeah.
at.
So there's like 2 types. There's like when I get to play my original songs, and then there's like trying to pay the bills type
Right,
shows.
right.
Like I'm playing on a brunch cruise and I'm playing 3 hours of cover songs. That's
Where do
the
you
stuff.
find the time to do all of this stuff? I picture you at a band practice, like, and boxing at the same time. I'm multitasking.
I'm getting it all in, man.
It's spinning plates for sure. My whole life feels like I'm drowning all the time just because I'm like, pay my bills, write a song,
Right.
promote this, plan this tour, and it's like I'm one person. It's hard to do all of it.
Are there any
But
songs
a
about
lot.
that?
about spinning plates? I mean, yeah, actually, I think if I sent you My Beast, that's kind of about just like, well, I also suffer from pretty bad anxiety, and so I sing about that a lot in my songwriting because I think we need to talk about mental health a lot more in music.
Very prevalent.
So yeah, it's just kind of about doing your best, trying not to be mean to yourself, trying to give yourself the grace that you would give a friend, and
Now, you use
Yeah.
music as kind of a therapy for
for
yourself.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, like you said, you mentioned you have anxiety. Getting up in front of people is
Yeah.
something that should
Well,
trigger somebody
that's
immediately.
something that people always are like, well, then, what a strange life choice you've made to like perform
Right.
if you have anxiety. But it's not necessarily the same as like stage fright,
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I don't
no.
have the same issues speaking in a crowd or like meeting new people. I mean, I am kind of socially awkward, but that's not for
Aren't we
me
all?
how anxiety presents itself. With me, it's more just like when you start to feel overwhelmed, it's like this wave of overwhelming emotion kind of coming over you sometimes for anything. It could be like for something serious or something ridiculous,
Yeah.
and you,
Oh yeah, I
can't
suffer.
control it.
I suffer from anxiety as well, and a lot of times it just comes out of nowhere, and you
Yeah.
have no idea why.
Yeah,
exactly.
It just all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
I become a nervous wreck all of a sudden, like out
Yeah.
of nowhere, like you're talking about.
And it just like builds
whoa.
up, So it could be the last straw of something stupid, like you can't find your shoe, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're like crying in a corner in the fetal position, and
Sorry,
my
I kicked you, Fluffy.
yeah, my wife's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm just like, "Oh, my shoe."
You're like-
no, but it's not about your shoe. It's
Right.
about
Never.
like the last 3 months of experiences you've had that you just
That's when
swallow
she
down.
hands you a pen and a paper and goes, write it down.
Yeah,
Take
exactly. Write a song.
your feelings. And then My Beast
Sort it
comes
out.
out. I feel like we need to listen to that one at some point on here. Hopefully, Big John has it if you sent it to him. If not, we'll make do.
Did I?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
We have
Unleash
her
the beast.
When you can't find your shoe in a sea of black shoes. That other shoe, where is it?
So let's talk a little bit about your latest accolade by winning Best Singer-Songwriter at the 2018 San Diego Music Awards. I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty right now.
Yes, we are.
That's just because your girlfriend came over to listen to the music.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and Lindsay's here too.
Yeah. Oh, well, that too. That's it. Yeah.
But I mean, tell us about that experience. That was pretty pretty surreal. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's an achievement to be proud of, but at the same time, it's very much like, how many people can I get to vote for me? So that you got to take it with a grain of salt too, and just be proud to be a part of it. But it's exciting to be recognized for something that you care so much about, but at the same time, it's I was in a category where it was like, you have to get the votes, so it becomes a lot more about
best
a social
singer,
media
songwriter.
campaign.
It's a popularity contest.
It's a bit of
little
that,
bit.
but it's still quite an achievement. And we were there at the awards this year at the House of Blues.
To be honest with you, just sorry to interrupt.
it's okay.
Kim,
I interrupt you all the time.
and you get interrupted a lot too, so it works out. With those awards, you still, I mean, and having friends vote and reaching out to people, they still have to believe in you to take the
right.
effort to go vote.
True.
So it's still, I mean, I post things all the time, and I'm like, I have 1,000 friends, but none of them post anything, share it or anything. Wink, wink.
Tyler, Spicy, Allie, good job.
I still
Allie.
have photos on my camera that I have yet to send Big
Oh,
John
there was
for an
supposed-
episode that is out now.
There was supposed to be a Dropbox like 2 months ago, bro.
Yep. There's still the folder, by the way.
That's the way we roll around here at the Dusty Futon.
Yeah, I was even like, Big John, don't let me leave here without sending you these
You
pictures.
did say that.
Yep.
And he let
It's-
me leave here without sending him the pictures.
And I left it in the episode just for the hell of it.
And there's still no pictures up.
Still awaiting.
There we
Nope.
have it.
Still
Oh my
waiting.
gosh.
Yeah, guilt is a really good way to get me to do things.
At the SDMAs, we've had a couple award winners.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, we had Richard, which I'm going to screw up your name, Richard, because you say the L's. Gallegos.
Gallegos.
I call him Richard
Gallegos.
Gallegos. He knows who I'm talking
He's
about.
just-
His vocab company, they were best
Oh, yeah,
hip-hop
yeah.
rap. And then I think Electric Mud was up for either best rock or
Yeah, they were a
best-
nominee.
Dude, I pretty much have everybody from season 6 and a lot of bands from before in my playlist, and whenever Vocab Company comes on, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
Bro-
right?
yeah.
yeah,
Brother Big John comes out.
boom, I got this shit, yo,
Oh,
it's
I
all
love
over
Richard.
that.
He's such a good man.
So you, for a brief spat there, it looks like you had a pop folk duo called the Lovebirds.
Yeah, that was actually a huge part of my life. So when I first started playing music here in town through Catherine Beeks, I met Veronica May, and we actually started dating. She was the first one. She wasn't the first woman I was ever with, but she was the first woman that I fell in love with. That I was forced to reckon with the fact that I
Yep.
This
like
isn't
everything
me.
clicked into place. I was
You
like,
got me.
this is why I wore so much flannel when I was younger. Like everything started like firing on all cylinders, and I couldn't like deny it.
Yeah, you were always being you. You just didn't know it.
So we started dating, and then we also formed this duo. She's an extremely talented musician, and we were in this duo called the Lovebirds for 6 years. We were only together for 3 years of that. So we broke up and then continued to play together for a few more years after that, and totally like ended on great terms. We're still friends. We just kind of both wanted to do our own thing for a
Yeah.
while. And so, yeah, but that was just a huge part of my musical experience for a while.
Yeah,
Sort
you
of
put out
all eggs
3
were in that
albums.
basket. Yeah.
And I like these names too. Nutsy Pants.
It's the name of my next band.
That's a one. And then there's and a 1 and a 2. Yeah, it's the second album, pretty appropriate. And then of course it seems like this might have been the last one, was Break Up, Schmake Up. But
yeah.
this is the one, like you said, you guys were still together while not necessarily being
Exactly.
together.
So it's like this whole breakup album.
Nice. And were you guys? The answer's right there. Pop folk. You got Tyler?
You see that, Tyler?
Yeah, did the research. Why don't you read it first?
You're so on top of your game.
I
You don't even
exactly.
know it.
But
Damn.
you also went all around during that time of your life. It looks like you went all the way to the Caryville folk festivals,
Yeah.
new folk songwriting competition here.
There's
and,
a microphone for you to talk into.
yeah, and you didn't. Just thanks for reminding me. Big John's always keeping me in check. Thank you.
It's the little things.
Yes. It's like he starts talking like this, and it's like the other microphones are picking him up, not even your microphone.
Yeah.
Usually the singers are the ones that are doing that.
I know, right?
So coming back,
You're doing
Caryville
very
Folk
well.
Festival. So you guys went there, and you guys, I guess, won
Yeah.
the whole competition.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Congratulations, there.
Kerrville Folk Festival is in a small town called Kerrville, Texas, and they just have this huge folk festival and folk songwriting competition. Lyle Lovett has been in it. Like, there's just like if you read about it, there's just like a long list of people who have participated. So it was really cool, and it was just one of those experiences, like with the San Diego Music Award, where you feel validated by people who understand how important it is what
Yeah.
you do is important. It's not just like, oh, this is your little side hobby. Songwriting is like your little,
band.
how cute,
Right.
These are people who
Yeah.
really understand like the weight of it
And they
what it
appreciate-
means to you, and to feel validated in that way was super.
You can obviously feel,
hard work.
actually
I mean,
hear the
it's a lot
true
of work.
emotion coming out in your lyrics. You're not just some, band trying to make noise in their garage and getting their name out there. You actually, are expressing yourself.
Yeah, the writing is the important part for me.
And I feel
Yeah,
like people need to bring that back into music these
Oh, yeah.
days. Yeah. There's not so much feeling anymore. It's just mass production. And with the increase in quantity
Right.
is usually the decrease in quality.
Totally.
So anyway, I think we should listen to another song here now. It's about that time. I'm running away from the mic again. I
Here
know
he
Big
goes.
Johnny's giving me that dirty look.
Stink eye.
But I think we should do the beast. Shall we unleash the beast?
Unleash
my
the
beast.
My beast. Unleash my beast.
That's right. This is The Beast by Lindsay White.
My beast.
I know. It just sounds so fun, The Beast.
Ah, Tyler.
This is My Beast. Gotta be honest, I didn't expect this.
Keep you on your toes.
There you go.
Back away from a snake. Play dead for a bear. Howl at a wolf. Climb a tree for a deer.
Are you playing that side guitar?
No. Alex.
Something
I thought it was a theremin.
What to do when I'm the attacker? Do I run? Do I hide? Do I dig a big hole and climb down, or stand my ground and lock eyes? Do I demand apologies, or do I apologize when it comes to my beast? I'm just doing my best to survive. For a cold, starve for a flu, ice for a sprain, take an aspirin or two. I know these remedies for the sick and bedridden. Got no clue what to do when I'm the affliction. Do I run? Do I hide? Do I dig a big hole and climb down, or stand my ground and lock eyes? Do I demand apologies, or do I apologize when it comes to my beast? I'm just doing my best to
I love that line. When it comes to my beast, I'm just doing my best to survive.
Thank you.
You know, I have to say something. I've never heard so much silence on the futon ever during your songs.
I know, we usually
it's done something that it's never done to us before. It shut us up.
Oh my gosh.
the vulnerability. I mean, you're spilling your guts out in like every song. That's like it's beautiful, and everyone can relate to it, and it's quite a feat to your strength.
I think that kind of reflects on how she won this award, is because everybody really believed in the message that she was trying to convey. You're just like, damn.
It's real and it's relatable, and you your words are beautiful, and you put things that are really hard to talk about and feel into a way that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You started singing when you were in diapers, but when did you pick up the guitar?
This is interesting. I played piano. Like I took piano lessons when I was a kid. I was in the band. I played trumpet, but guitar didn't really find me until one week in middle school. I was sick. I was homesick for the week, and my dad just had like a clunky old guitar lying around, so I just like picked it up and started trying to learn it. So I taught myself, and I've never really taken lessons, or
so cool.
I'm not that great of a guitar player. I can string some chords together, but yeah, it's just like out of being sick and staying home from school that I happen upon
Wow.
the guitar.
Boredom ignited the fire.
Boredom and germs.
Thanks to you, cooties.
Yeah, I caught rock and roll. It was a disease.
So what do you write with when you're writing songs? Do you write on a piano or do you use guitar?
I'll write on the guitar generally. I kind of have like a tidbit of an idea for like a lyric in my head, and then I'll sit down with like my computer on one side and guitar on the other side, and depending on how I'm feeling, if the words are coming faster, I'll write them down, or kind of a mix of both. But yeah, I'll write on the guitar mostly.
What kind of guitar do you play?
I play a Fender, in quotes, Telecaster, because it's a relic. It's like
an old, like a classic vintage one?
but relic. So it was somebody's job to like make this guitar look old and and feel
I know what you're
old
talking about.
and appear old. So it looks like this beautiful vintage Telecaster, but it's really it plays like one.
Well, then that's really
Yeah.
the
I'm no label
whore,
whore, so I don't care. Like,
Difference, right?
I'll
It's like,
take what I can
I'm
get.
going to go down to Tijuana and buy myself a $5 Gucci purse, because what's the difference, right?
You know what? When it comes to guitars, it could be the most expensive guitar you've ever laid hands on, and if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. You know,
It's in the tone.
It's
all
like
about the tone you're
wine.
getting.
yeah, it's all about how you feel and play. And I also play a Taylor guitar too.
Yeah.
That's 2000 in San Diego.
I know, right? We love Taylor guitars.
Support your local. It's locally sourced.
It's not locally sourced, but the guitars are made locally.
Yes.
The wood is from all over the world.
Had a buzzkill, man. Had a buzzkill.
Sorry, as I was saying that, I'm like, shut up, John.
Well, I want to thank Reverb Nation, because that's how we found you.
I
And
know.
that's awesome.
Yeah, you can actually listen to this song on Reverb Nation as well as many others. And I want to thank them for that, and thank
Yeah.
you for working with them to come out here to us.
Yes.
And we're going to have many more in the future, so stay tuned.
Yay.
Awesome.
But yeah, big shout out to Reverb Nation. Go check out Lindsay White on Reverb Nation.
Yes.
She's got those 2 songs you heard and much, much more on there.
Do you have a website?
Yeah,
People can find you?
LindsaysWhitemusic.com. Lindsay with an A.
There you go.
Yes, Lindsay. Yes, you
Lindsay
have to say that.
and LindsaysWhitemusic.com.
Come on,
What was
Tyler.
the
You're known for
Comic-Con
random
thing?
questions.
Yeah,
Where are
you
the
say the
random
word.
questions?
I don't know.
Hit me with some random.
Some random questions. All right. Do you still play the trumpet?
No,
Darn.
that was Bad News Bears for when I was a kid
Really?
with
Oh my
braces.
God.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted to
yeah.
get rid of that thing as soon as I could.
You know, people
Like,
keep telling me
mouth
like they
torture.
remember me blacking out one time playing the trumpet, and I don't remember that. And I'm still
Imagine.
debating whether or not it really happened
Is
or
it
not.
alive?
But
They're just
yeah,
like-
well, I mean, you know,
what?
I got these big old like Dizzy Gillespie cheeks and stuff when I play, so and this is 5th grade, so I don't know how to train myself.
Is that
I
where
just
you
put my heart
hyperventilate
and
or
soul
something?
and both my lungs into this thing and fell flat on my face, but apparently I didn't realize it because I just got back up and kept
Face
on
flat.
playing. Like,
That's
what's
all
the
you gotta
D?
do.
Okay. You know.
I respect a good trumpet player, but it's kind of a gross instrument if you think about it. There's like a
A
spit
spit?
valve.
Yeah.
The trombone's
kinda
worse.
nasty.
And
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
Does it have the
I mean, it's a
reed, too?
beautiful, like, people who play brass instruments well, it's gorgeous, but I think about when I was a little kid in band, like, emptying my little spit valve. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I played the drums. Yeah.
gross.
He keeps talking about the drums. We don't know.
I love the drums. I wish I could play the drums.
I have visual evidence.
Is that why everybody plays the guitar and drums? Because it's something like, hey, can I play your drums? Hey, can I play your guitar? No one's like, hey,
Drums
can
are
I play your
hard.
harmonica? They're like, ew.
Hey, can I borrow your mouthpiece to play your saxophone.
Putting a drum kit together, you deserve a prize. Like, it's rough.
Yeah, not all heroes wear capes.
Are you saying
They wear
I'm-
drum
I'm a
sets.
hero?
But have you ever noticed?
No,
that
because you're not
drummers
a
are
drummer,
patient?
Big John.
What?
Very patient.
She's still, see, this is the thing. We've been together. Me and Job.
We're not together.
Yes, we are. Okay, we
you're
are
an
together.
awfully cute couple. Don't
Yeah,
you
no.
deny it.
We're
Adorable.
together like Siamese twins.
You're like peanut butter and jelly.
But we've been together, I guess, roughly for the Futons in 3 years. We've been knowing each other for about 4 years or something like that. And not once, not a single minutia of a moment have I seen him play the drums.
That's because you don't know how to Google. Come on, it's on YouTube.
If it's on YouTube, it happened.
See,
Right?
You'll never be able to get rid of it.
It's on the
exactly.
internet. I know. I hope it's good.
Still waiting.
Well,
John the drummer.
I played quads in high school.
All right. So let's talk
Quads.
a little bit about kind of where you come from. What are some
I
of your
rode
big,
quads.
your big influences that kind of really made you who you are and cemented the Lindsay that is?
I would say first and foremost, Bob Dylan. I grew up on Dylan. My dad played it all the time, and that vein of music, you know, all those classic rock.
Can I
and
ask you
folkies.
something about Bob Dylan?
Sure.
Do you understand anything that he says?
It's like a rolling stone.
Maybe not the greatest singer, but boy, can he write a friggin' song.
The
His
words
lyrics
are amazing. Yeah, so that would be definitely number one. And then just coming into, you know, when I started playing the guitar, started writing poems and turning them into songs. That was when Jewel was out, and that was when Ani DeFranco, my sister, was a little bit older than me, and she was listening to more like feminist stuff, like Ani DeFranco, and so that was kind of like seeping into me.
Your inner gay side was like, hey.
Yeah, I was like, who's this lady? What is she saying? But it was the same thing. It was just like so powerful that a woman could put out her own record and write her own record, and I was just taken by that, you know. And so I think kind of mixing that influence of older 60s folk music with what I had learned already from the church about just kind of like how to put a song together simply in a way that, you know, a mass group of people could catch on to. And then Bob Dylan, Ani DeFranco, Shel Silverstein, another one, like the poet.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons, I mean, the fact that you did that is something I have yet to understand, because I think I'm pretty good at writing poems, and a lot of them are a lot like Shel Silverstein. But when I try to apply it to music, it sounds like an Irish drinking song every time.
Irish drinking songs are great.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that.
I just have
Shel Silverstein has this way, kind of like Bob Dylan, of like twisting the dagger at the end. Even if it's just a simple children's poem that is not like that serious, like there's just a way where like there's that one final line that sort of goes
Lingered with you.
It just makes you go like, huh. And that's kind of like who I would attribute to like writing a strong chorus, like making sure that main point of your song is just like getting in there, you know? And
Yeah, driving
and
it
he
home.
was top at that.
That's how Bon Jovi did it. That's his whole thing. You know, Bon Jovi wrote jingles before he became famous, and that's his whole
I
thing.
would
was
love
just
to do that
writing
for a
that
living.
stick line.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
that be just so
He
fun?
wrote-
Jingles would be fun because those
be
are
a lot
so
of
like relatively
Oscar Mayer
easy
had
to.
a way with B-O-L-O-T.
I think Lindsay's gone a little deeper than that, though.
No, but still, like if that was my day job, I would love that.
But you still got to put your mindset into the children who eat bologna in order to write a song like
Yeah,
that. You know,
like how am I
That's
going to
true.
sell this?
Right.
Yeah.
Musically.
My
it's
children
really
do not eat
it's an
bologna.
art in and of itself. It's like mixing screenwriting and commercial writing with
Yeah, it
music
has to be
writing.
kind of visual at the same
It's-
time, right?
Yeah,
Your
you
lyrics.
got to conjure up, and you're good at conjuring up those emotions. So it
Clever.
probably would
Thank
be
you.
good for you to do that.
Very
Although I think
clever.
I need to do it for like tissues or like some product that's like sad, you know.
Tampon commercials.
Yeah, totally. I could do that.
Mom, do you douche?
Just please don't put it in one of those like Sarah McLachlan commercials with like the sad dogs.
Oh,
'cause
God.
I'll be able to
That's
hold it
exactly the
in.
kind of stuff I do.
I start crying and then I have to change it, and then I change the channel back because I'm like, that's terrible. I changed the channel.
It's only 83 cents a day.
I can do that.
Dialing 1010 220.
All I got to do is give up my daily Starbucks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Where did we go?
I don't know.
Where have we gone?
I don't know. Get us back on track.
Okay, I'm trying to like go through my notes here and see what
I don't have any
haven't
notes.
touched base with
No.
here.
I don't have any notes.
Well, what do you think of our songs so far? You
I
haven't
love our
really
songs.
gotten a word in edgewise.
I know, really.
Because Tyler's off.
Hey, I give you plenty of time to talk during the songs.
I couldn't. I was speechless. They're beautiful, and you're like, again, your songs have so much vulnerability in them.
Thank you.
And the way you word your lyrics are really clever.
Thank you.
You know what I also have to say? I want to thank you because you are the only person that actually put today's recording session on your upcoming shows in your Reverb Nation profile.
Yeah.
I was like,
Shut the front door.
she's playing at the Dusty Futon. I am too.
Hey, me too.
I didn't
I
notice
keep
that.
track of that stuff for
Thank you.
myself too. And well, I want to promote what you guys are doing, but I also like when I go back and like
Look at where you've been.
do my taxes next year, then I'll be like, oh yeah, I drove this many miles to this place to.
Or, down the road,
Wow.
you could say, I was on the Dusty Futon before they were massively
Exactly.
famous and everybody on them was so big.
Exactly.
Wow. And now you can write us off on your taxes.
And then believe
pretty
me, I
cool.
will.
Yeah. This is almost like a
Like what you
Can I
flashback.
hire you to do our taxes?
Oh.
This is almost a flashback to season 1, episode 2, when we started talking
Oh
about
my God. That was, that
Remember
was like,
how we
wait,
talked about spinning plates?
Yes.
That's one of the big plates that I don't like.
Wait,
to
now do you
spin.
actually spin plates too? Because I wouldn't be surprised now
I
at this point.
I was gonna go grab some out of the cupboard for you.
Bring out your
Liz.
fine china, Kim.
I got
Let's
it.
do
I
this.
got it.
No, let's just
It's right over
spin
there.
John's acoustic, his musical
Which
instruments.
ones? Oh boy.
Yeah.
there we go.
He won't mind.
He's got a
We'll
Taylor.
borrow him. We'll put him
He's
right
got a
down,
couple.
Kim.
Well,
Yeah.
a couple of things going on in there.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of a couple things going on, we got way too many things going on. I think maybe we should do another song.
Okay.
Should we go into one more song?
Why not?
Let's do something.
She's looking to try and see
Let's do
what that actually
something.
What did
I don't
they
know.
send?
Yeah, what did?
Rubberband Gun.
Oh, that sounds fun
yeah.
and playful.
It's not fun and
She can write Kleenex
Again,
jingles. Okay,
surprising me left and right.
Hey,
Okay.
be nice. This album's about grief. Okay, so this was about my grandpa.
So this is Rubberband Gun, once again by Lindsay White.
Just right from the beginning, you just want to hear your songs right off the bat.
She is a mother who gave me a father. Her name is Norma Jean. And Bill was a deacon. After he quit drinking, he married her when she was 16. He moved her out west when the greatest depression chased them. They escaped by the skin of their teeth, and I watched him adore her, do everything for her. He carried her purse, and he watched her sleep. 64 times they circled the sun till he shot off the earth like a rubber band gun. Her soul folded up like a thin paper plane, waiting for takeoff to see him again.
Boy, you're right. I was way off.
Yeah, fun and playful, not so much.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Rubberband Gun. What
I
is
was
that?
going to say, when are you going
symbolic
to
of?
talk about it?
Well,
Can we talk a little bit about it? Okay, good.
I just kind of wanted to pose the right question. So the Rubberband Gun, I'm guessing, is symbolic of a person. Is that?
Yeah, it's so this is about the death of my grandpa and just how suddenly someone can leave the earth and leave your life. And he and my grandmother were married for 64 years, and it's just that's mind-boggling to think of spending that much time with one person,
Okay.
you know, and their whole life was this duo, you know, since she was 16, and now she's living in this world without. It's
Her
like
other
without
half,
an arm,
honestly,
you know?
yeah.
So I just wanted to highlight that. And then also, so the second verse is sort of my relationship with him and the things that I remember and the lessons that he left me with and how that lives on.
I have no words. I don't even say. How you doing, Allie?
Totally right.
It
Dear.
worked.
Left me a lesson. The kindness is best. You can survive a hard life with no enemies. And
So I actually have that tattooed on me. Relax and let the world go by. Are you crying?
It's beautiful.
So is Allie.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a soul, apparently.
No, you don't. I think it's more so the story and then the song that really just kind of boosts that emotional pull that you're creating.
It puts a lot of things into perspective. It even gives a timeline of the story, you know, like you said, 64 laps around the sun and 32 laps around the sun with the time that he got to spend with you, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Nerd.
It really kind of puts things into perspective and humanizes everything. And I think that's why he really struck Kim and Allie pretty to the core.
Yeah.
There.
Aw.
It's really,
Yeah.
really
I'm sorry I made you cry.
No, it's beautiful. I thought
Good to feel your feelings.
We
so.
believe now, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people listening are crying right now.
Everyone.
Well, right now, no, because it's
if you're
pre-recorded.
crying, well, if you're crying because of that, make sure you go and buy her music so that you
Thank
can
you.
support the love and the power that she submits into this music.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yes,
that. Thank
you can listen to them all on Reverb Nation again, but I'm sure it's not the only place too. You can go to her website also at lindsaywhitemusic.com, Lindsay with an A. Also, you got, I'm sure on the social medias,
all the things.
you know, all the things and
things.
stuffs. Do I even need to say them all at this point because I have to read this whole like Twitter and Facebook and Snap?
Yeah, it's
no,
everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Just
So,
Google her name.
everywhere you want to be. Absolutely. So thank you again, Lindsay,
be.
for coming out here.
Yeah,
and-
thank you guys
and
for
making
having
us cry and feel again.
Except for the soulless men behind the mics.
Well, you're an engineer, you know. And
That's
it's like
true.
I don't have a soul, so I'll just engineer things.
It was nice to listen to the songs this way because normally, you know, you listen and then they'll like, okay, now we're gonna play the song, and then they continue where you pick up where you left off, you know. So it's kind of intimidating to just like sit here while you guys like listen to my music.
But that's honestly that's the most fun part about
It's
doing
cool.
this is to get
It's
you
scary,
guys.
but it's cool.
Yeah, because you get to see like we have a lot of like rock artists or more upbeat artists. You see them bouncing around and tapping, and then we have like the most recent episode. I'm just gonna edit all this out, but the most recent episode we had with Chugboat, they were singing. We were singing along, so it's really neat the little aspects and extras you can get from hearing your own music.
Totally. Yeah, it was a cool way to do it.
It's a really cool way to
I
do it.
enjoyed it.
It's so cool because I invented it.
Well, you can see
Like
what
Bill Gates in the Al Gore in the internet, right?
I invented the internet. I took the initiative of inventing the internet.
Well, Lindsay invented my feelings because
she did. She really brought down the house.
no wonder. No, so apparently, I mean, that's how you win awards. Is you make people cry.
Well, yeah,
You write beautiful
I try.
songs.
I know.
I mean, I don't try to make people cry. It's just a side effect of my drug that I offer.
Breaking hearts.
You know what you did is you made it real, is what it is,
Yeah.
and I think that's what really
Thank
struck
you.
people. When it really strikes you down into something that you can relate to, that's what gets you. Anyway, Lindsay, thank you again. We can't thank you
Thank
enough for
you.
coming out here
it's
and
fun.
sharing your music with us and your time. We hope to do it again sometime in the
Yeah.
future because obviously you're not done doing everything.
No.
We can't wait to find out what new talent you're going to have the next time you come about. And,
Thanks.
you know,
She's going to learn how to throw lightning bolts.
Yeah. Oh, have you
I'll come back and I'll actually spin plates.
Have you seen that Bad Axe? There's a Bad Axe that just opened up, and you in PB, and you can go and throw axes. Like,
Oh, that sounds amazing
they-
and also dangerous.
yeah, kind of
I
does.
could do that.
But I don't know.
Should we go?
You could, yeah.
Should we do like
Let's
a
do it.
remote podcast?
Yeah, we should.
She died that day.
Oh, whoops. There was a tragic accident at Bad Axe today.
Bad accident. I like that.
accident. Yeah, he had 4 in him, which is kind of making me wonder: is it an accident?
Is it an accident? They just kept going. Got him the first time.
Oh my
I'm
God.
on a roll, man.
Yeah.
Keep hitting them, okay?
Right.
It's like hitting the bullseye.
And that's where Big John hit stop, and the episode ends.
Just like that. And thank you so much again to Lindsay White for coming out to take a seat on the Dusty Futon and to Reverb Nation for connecting us together. Thank you to Tyler for hosting this episode. And big thank you to Spicy Kim of Wicked Tone Entertainment for being our co-host and executive producer. I'm Big John, engineer, editor, and producer of this production of the Dusty Futon LLC. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to get all the newest episodes. You can find out how on www.dustyfuton.com or by following us at facebook.com/thedustyfuton. If you love what we're doing and want to support our cause like Rick and our other supporters on Patreon, consider going to patreon.com/thedustyfuton and pledging to support us for as little as $1 a month. Thank you again for listening to this production of the Dusty Futon LLC.
You have a website?
Yeah,
People can find you?
LindsyWhiteMusic.com. Lindsay with an A.
There you go.
Yes, Lindsay. Yes, you always have to say that.
And LindsyWhiteMusic.com.
You know, fun fact, my name would have been Lindsay if I was a girl anymore.
Really?
That is a fun fact.
Notice I said anymore at the end.
Yeah.
My name would have been Thor if I was a boy.
Thor?
Thorian, actually.
That's pretty badass.
At first, I thought it was terrible. Then, and my brother, who's a really big dude, they were going to call him Thorian, but they ended up with AJ for some reason. And he's like, he thought that was the weirdest thing, but now when he's older, he's like, Thor, that would have been
Thorian
fucking
the
off
Destructor.
I know, that
I
would have been
know.
off the
What
charts.
could you be besides like a professional wrestler
Right?
at that point?
I know. And my brother's like 6'2" and maybe like 230 and just like buffed out, so it totally would have worked.
That's funny.
If anything makes me feel really old, it's watching the Olympics. The medium age now is about 17, 18,
Yeah.
and they're like superhumans. And I'm just like,
I
well,
know.
I quit everything.